Welcome back to the PCMR podcast, where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, and comic books and other things that do not really matter in life because nothing matters and we're all going to die one day.
Yeah, taglines.
Hello.
How's this bleak?
My name is Aidan Mungai. I am your host of this here dearly beloved podcast.
Yes.
I am joined, as always, by my forever co-host, Brett Page.
Yes. And what a lovely evening it is for a podcast.
Forever the co-host, never the bride.
Never the bride.
Never the bride.
Okay. That's how that saying goes.
That is how the saying goes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of news for you today.
I feel like it's been a while since we've done an actual news episode.
Oh, we've dabbled with news, but
Yeah, we've done a couple of movie reviews, and we had the E3 episode, which I guess is technically news, but it was a lot more focused.
It was focused on a news event as opposed to just sporadic things, whisperings and rumors and ideas and release dates and casting.
It was more event focused than just pop culture wide. So we've got quite a few stories. I don't know why, but every time we do a news episode, I get worried that we're not going to find stories. But then days like today, we've got a decent list here.
It turns out things keep happening.
Yeah, things keep happening, and we're just kind of here just existing while things happen around us.
Yeah, we get all caught up in playing video games and watching movies that we forget that
More video
time
games
is a
movies are being
constantly moving forward linear experience that creates new and exciting events.
We're just big old fucking nerds.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So let's get right into this.
Let's get right into it. Alrighty. So, YouTube Red, Brett.
Yeah.
If you dabbled with YouTube Red,
I got the 1 month free that they gave me to A, see how it was,
yeah,
and B, because I wanted to watch Rhett and Link's original show they had there.
I got the 1 week free trial thing.
Week?
I think it was a 1 week thing.
I'd say mine was a month.
I can't remember if it was a week or a month. Anyway, it wasn't that long, and I tried it out.
Maybe you got it like real early on when they still had a lot of faith in it. Like, we're only going to give you a 1 week free trial. Then later on, I was like, okay, people aren't getting this. Maybe we need to give
It might have been. I got it because I wanted to try out the music app. They had YouTube Music. You could listen to music when the app was like closed, like when your phone wasn't on.
Okay, so you could kind of just, you
could
shut
put
off
your
the screen or whatever. Like
it was like a
Spotify.
Spotify alternative, yeah, and it was okay at first, but then when like
Not
the
worth
week
it?
expired, I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm not gonna pay for this.
Yeah.
This is
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. No,
We got Spotify.
exactly. I've got Spotify, and now I've got Spotify Premium.
I
got
got real good, isn't it?
It's real good. I'm doing the.
So you don't realize how great Spotify Premium is until you get it, and you're like, oh, how did I live with those fucking ads before?
I'm doing the like $3 for 3 months thing. So that's
Yeah, I think that's what I got it on when I first started,
Mm.
and it's gone into the like $14 a month now for me. But I'm still with it because $14 a month I can afford that.
Yeah, I'm pretty fine with it at the moment, so I'm enjoying it. But YouTube Red continues despite our lack of loyalty.
Yeah, and despite anyone's lack of interest.
Despite anyone's lack of interest, they continue to try and make it an interesting and exciting thing for people to consume.
And they have some shows.
They have some attempts
ordered
here. So let's find out what these attempts are to try and bring us back into the fold. Dan Harmon,
instead of making Rick and Morty season 3,
is producing a show, Good Games, very similar to the Australian show Good Game. They just added an S.
Yeah.
Bloody Americans stealing our ideas.
Yeah, just adding an S and getting away with the copyright laws. And it's made by his own production company, which is called Starburns Industries.
Great name.
Great name. And apparently the show is going to star the Game Grumps co-hosts.
Oh.
What are their names? Dan Avidan and Aaron.
Dan Dan. Hey Dan, have you had your Dan yet?
I'm sure I pronounced it wrong, but that's how it's written.
It's probably Dan Avidan or something.
Part of the list, so I know it's spelt right.
Mm.
And
Aaron Hansen.
Yeah.
Except Aaron is spelled wrong. Or probably it's a different culture.
I copy-pasted that from the article I got it from. I mean, what? We don't get our news from other sources. We don't steal news stories. No.
Brett, we're on the internet. That's how you get news stories. You steal other news stories.
Yeah, but
journalism doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. There are 10 journalists and then 600 news sites. You think they're all writing these articles? No.
No. Yeah, you're right. They're copying from one another.
They're
So
all copying from
apparently
one
the
another.
concept of this show is that the Game Grumps guys
Mm.
are members of a newly formed esports teams slated to make their mark in the world of competitive gaming. Well, I'm sure people who are into competitive gaming might find this interesting, but this
Well,
doesn't...
I like Dan Harmon. I
like
haven't
Dan
listened to a lot of his podcast. I've listened to a couple episodes here and there.
I haven't listened to any of
watched,
it.
He did like a tabletop gaming series where he got a bunch of comedians on.
You've told me about that. Yeah.
I've watched that. That was pretty good. So
Mm.
maybe if it's similar humor to that, this could also be good.
Well-
But it doesn't really.
Well, both Community and Rick and Morty are two of
Mm.
my favorite shows. So,
Mm.
two shows his shows basically. He was the creator of both shows.
Mm.
So I don't know. I have faith in him, but at the same time,
I'm not paying for YouTube Red.
yeah, I'm not paying for YouTube Red.
No. Look, that's the problem. Like, when Spotify came out, it was very clear that hey, there's the free option with ads, and then there's the premium version where you're paying, you don't get ads. And
Yeah.
it's better. That was straight up what they offered. So I'm more readily to accept. Okay, this is what Spotify is.
Yeah, because Spotify launched with
Mm.
both the paid version and the unpaid version.
Yeah,
But now what
you
YouTube
knew what you were
is-
getting into.
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube have been operating for 10 plus years,
10+ years.
free, completely free, and now they want you to pay for it.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
And I can understand the idea that with YouTube Red, they're more higher budget productions. They're more
Mm.
TV show, movie type things, as opposed to short form YouTube videos.
Mm.
But one could argue that you don't go to fucking YouTube for TV shows or movies.
No, I'm not going to YouTube expecting high quality. It's a very different experience to what you get from TV. It's a
Mm.
very personal experience. You're looking for individual or collective
Yeah,
groups of creators to have
Exactly.
a sort of a
There's
dialogue
so many,
with.
There's so many
Mm.
niches on YouTube,
It's a very
many
niche film
circles.
market. Yeah.
and just everything is just so personal.
Mm.
One of our favorite creators on YouTube, Philip DeFranco,
Mm.
he does news, but he does it in a different way. He looks directly at the camera, and he
Mm.
directly talks to you rather
Mm.
than at you, which is what
And asks your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Mm.
conversation, he likes to say.
Mm.
And that very much encapsulates what my experience with YouTube is.
Mm.
It's communities. It's feeling like you're there involved with the creator.
Mm. And while, Philip DeFranco might be the upper echelon of that, he built himself up from being just a regular person.
Yeah, he just kind of
using the website and build himself up. Well, people coming outside of the system into it, it's a bit, I feel wrong. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be there. Dan Harmon, I would accept a little bit more sooner.
Well, I feel like Dan Harmon. It doesn't surprise me that Dan Harmon's getting involved with this because he's
Mm.
always been very favorable of new media.
Mm.
He's all about what Rick and Morty. He's all about the future.
Mm. I mean, if you look at something like Adult Swim is kind of that early version of bringing in weird creators to create weird things.
Oh yeah,
It's very much a precursor to that kind of ideas, and the kind of
Yeah.
people who would make shows for Adult Swim have now moved on to making stuff for YouTube. Probably
Yeah.
the people who would have in the past would have only had one avenue to get their weird, stupid animation idea out there would have been to go to somewhere like Adult Swim. But now
yeah. You got
They can-
YouTube and
they've got YouTube and stuff. So that I'm more ready to accept. What I'm not ready to accept
is
which-
this other show they've ordered a pilot for, which is called Lifeline, and it stars The Rock.
Is it Star The Rock or is it being produced by The Rock?
The Rock isn't a producer. I think he's in it. I don't think they've said what role he's in it, but I think he's in it.
He could be a producer. He's got money. Anyone who has money can be a producer.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Mm.
Yeah, apparently this show
Mm.
is about an insurance agent. It's based in the not too distant future. An insurance agent who travels 33 days. I don't know why exactly 33, but 33 days into the future to
Mm.
save their client's life from accidental death. And
Look, sure, I'm all for time travel. Time travel's great, but can we not have all these The Rock showing up and all these internet things? I get it that people are upset. Maybe I'm done with The Rock. Maybe that's just me. Like, and that, that's coming from someone who likes these Fast and the Furious movies. I'll watch one of those every other year. That's it. That's
your
my
rock fix.
recommended rationing of
Recommended dosage.
recommended dosage of The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, I guess.
Yeah.
He's past that now. He is just Dwayne Johnson.
For me, it's just like, you keep doing things, buddy. I'm not going to watch any of them, but I'm going to be happy you're doing them. 'Cause I've watched hardly anything with The Rock actually in it. It's just a presence in this world to me.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did you see Moana? Moana?
Nope.
Nope. You haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, or
I think I've seen like the first 2.
that doesn't count. Those 5 onwards
Yeah,
are the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
No, I guess he's just a presence. He's like an oft spoken of god.
Yeah. And I don't watch wrestling in case you haven't told Marty everything about my personality.
I don't know, Brett. You do give off a I could be watching wrestling right now vibe.
Do I?
You do a little bit.
Is it the hair?
It's the hair.
It's the hair.
It's the hair. It is long and flowing like someone who would be a fan of The Undertaker. Who I think is someone who has long hair. I could be mistaken.
Just another thing making me kind of want to cut my hair.
You might have to.
So I feel like I get mixed responses when I say to people I'm thinking of cutting my hair.
I think it's because it's the unknown. Because you've had long hair for so long. This is completely off topic, but I'm going into it anyway.
This is what we do here.
Yeah. You've had long hair for so long that people don't know what you'll look like with short hair. And even though I see you now with like a tied back, and I'm trying to think of like, now just imagine that bit at the back, it's gone.
That's not how it's going to look, though. I'm not going to be like, just chop it at the end. That'll be fine.
You're not going to slick it all back or Eric Trump style? No?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd want an actual, like, style,
Would you go for like the shaved on the sides kind of popular thing at the moment? Coif it up a bit? Would you get a pompadour?
I don't know. I don't think my head's the right shape for that. 'Cause my head's very round at the top and pointed a bit at the bottom.
I feel like maybe
And it kind of it's a bit of
if you
it's a bit
also
of an egg.
if you
my
also
head's an upside down
if you also
egg.
tried to grow a beard at the same time, maybe. But
'Cause
it's
I will-
only in my mind because I've seen some photo of like some European soccer player and had like long hair and no beard and he looked like
Yeah.
a fucking weirdo.
See, this,
but then
yeah,
he got
just the other weekend when Jesse was here, I mentioned it to him, and he was vehemently against it. But I think he was vehemently against it because he's one of the few people who knew. You knew me before I fully grew it out as well.
Yeah.
He's one of the people who knew me
when you
before.
still had the blonde streak in it.
Yeah. Did you meet me when I had that shit in my hair?
Yeah, frosted tips, cunt.
I didn't. Hey, it was not a frosted tip.
It wasn't
was an
frosted
emo
tips.
Streak.
It was an emo streak. Just as bad.
he's just as bad.
Just as
So
bad.
I feel like the people who have known me before say no, you shouldn't get it cut because they're like, well, I remember what he had before. And the
Really,
long hair's
the
better
emo
than
streak
that.
was the frosted tips of the mid 2000s.
It really was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It went frosted tips,
emo streak.
emo streak, or coontails for the girls, if you would.
Oh god, those were the worst.
Those were the worst.
Those were the worst.
Yeah. I
Actually, you know what was worse than coontails? Bloody leopard spot hair thing. That
Oh yeah, I remember that.
awful.
Oh, just bad.
Like I don't even like it as like a print that people wear, but having it in your hair, it's even worse.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. You dress how you want. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna get my hair cut until like I find like a real good haircut, or someone just says, "Hey, get this haircut. It'll look good on you." Once someone has a recommendation,
You could get the Pip Boys haircut, or like. Whew.
are you just looking at my
I'm
mask
just looking at
that's
I'm
in
looking at
there?
the mask like I have no reference for like what's like a short. Oh, you've paused it, bloody
No, I haven't. It's
No,
just my
still
phone
going?
kind of fell on the keyboard.
Alrighty. Well, on with the show.
Yeah, with the show. Now, let's get away from the topic of me cutting my hair.
Mhm.
Now, we've had a piece about YouTube Red that we don't care for it, and we think it's taking the person.
Don't care. Moving on.
Yeah, YouTube is meant to be personal. They're making it impersonal.
Mm.
Fuck off with your mainstream bullshit.
Yeah. Speaking of mainstream bullshit, World War Z
2. Which, now the first World War Z was just the encapsulation of every zombie movie. It was just the most stock standard zombie movie, if you ask me.
I don't think it was a stock standard zombie movie. It was them trying to make the zombie movie a giant blockbuster and not fully understanding what makes a zombie movie interesting, which is small stories, not large-scale destruction.
Yeah. Well, it was very much a big Hollywood blockbuster. You're very right there.
Also, it was based off a book that was a collection of short stories that really, like, that's a much better representation
Yeah.
of the mindset of, like, zombie fiction. And I think Max Brooks really wrote something quite good
and
there.
there's still just this one scene in World War Z that I remember that fucking someone's arm gets cut off, and the way the blood spurts out and the look of the blood is like, that is the most fake shit I've ever seen. Do you remember that part?
I don't remember that part at all. I don't remember any blood in the movie, quite honestly.
No, one part, someone got their arm cut off and it just looked the most fake I've ever seen.
I will say one thing that was a little bit funny about World War Z is that in the film, Peter Capaldi plays a World Health Organization doctor.
Who?
Yeah, a Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And it was before he was cast as well, so he played a Who doctor and then got to be Doctor Who. I thought that was a bit funny. Yeah.
Just a little Easter egg.
So yeah, the first film, I didn't hate it, but compared to the book that it was based on, it was very lackluster.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either, but also just wasn't that interesting.
But something that might be interesting, the sequel is being directed by David Fincher.
Yes, David Fincher.
Of Seven, of
Fight
Gone
Club.
Girl, Fight Club.
But I say, how did you put Gone Girl before Fight Club? I mean, Gone Girl was good, but it wasn't Fight Club good.
It was his most recent thing, so I was thinking of like what's he done, and that was in my mind.
True.
Yeah, so this is another team up for him with Brad Pitt.
Yep.
At first I was thinking, why would he sign up to do this? But I was like, oh wait, no.
Because Brad Pitt's doing it.
Brad Pitt, he has a working relationship with him. He did Seven, he did Fight Club. They've done a lot of things together. This actually doesn't make as little sense as I once thought it did.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a weird movie for him to do because he very much likes very story-driven.
Yeah, adult.
He gets deep.
He does like a big budget thing. Like Fight Club has like a big budget kind of flair to it. Seven is like back in the day when they used to make big budget like adult dramas.
Yeah.
God, remember those days?
Yeah. Well,
they don't do that anymore.
Seven was very stylistic because it was very much going for that neo-noir crime feel. And I really think like that they did a lot of them in the 90s. 90s had quite a few neo-noir crime films. And I feel like Seven is probably one of the ones that really stood out.
Yeah. I don't know what this will look like. I've been trying to think of like what it would look like in my mind, and all I'm seeing is like first rule about Zombie Club, you don't talk about Zombie Club or something. Or
what's in the box?
It's a zombie. It's a zombie. That's what was in the box.
We're studying it.
Yeah.
It's not a box, it's a coffin. Come on.
So I'm not sure what he'd do with this. Maybe he could like redirect it a little bit, so maybe it's more about global conflict from like a more kind of boardroom kind of decision-making policy decision, while also trying to focus a little bit on the small aspect of it. Like I feel like I didn't like World War Z because the book that it's based off is this large kind of global conflict. You see all these different perspectives all around the world. You see like a small story, you see a large story, you see like people who like would train dogs, and like the relationship between them. You get people having PTSD. You get stories from like doctors, from people on the ground, from families. So it was a very large. You got like a large scale kind of like picture of like, okay, this is how this world would affect all these different kinds of people. World War Z was very focused. It was about, Brad Pitt trying
white
to get
man
back to his
saves
family.
the world.
Yeah, well, not so much white man saves the world. It was white man tries to get back to his family, which we've seen that so many times. So I don't want to see another, he gets separated from his family. He's got to save his family movie. I'm done with that. Don't need that anymore.
Well, see, I feel like David Fincher might be in a tough position with this because the first one is very much not a single David Fincherism in it.
No.
Wouldn't think it'd be anything he'd want to do. So you feel like he's going to want to put his own flair on it, but at the same time, he can't stray too far from the first one, or it'll feel like it's a completely different movie. Because if it's the sequel, it still has to have the feel of the first.
I'd say it doesn't entirely have to have the feel of the first, just because the first wasn't super well received. So I don't think
It made a lot of money, though.
It made I don't think it made that much money. It made enough
$400
that
million.
it made enough that it's getting a sequel.
It made $400 million.
$400 million is
that's
quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, nothing to laugh at.
I'm sorry. I'm in this like new era where like every other movie makes like $1 billion. So I'm hearing 400 million. I'm like, that's not that much money. What are you talking about? That ain't a lot of money.
It's still like 3 times its budget.
It's true. It's true.
That's profit. That's profit area.
You got me there, sir.
Yeah.
You got me there.
Anyway,
I don't know what this will look like. I'm hoping it'll be interesting because it doesn't seem like David Fincher would be a director for hire. I'm feeling like he's here because he wants to work with Brad Pitt again.
He'd
probably
be there because he wants to be there.
I think Brad Pitt has a production company that produced it. Like, he was the one that really got this World War Z movie off the ground. So it's probably him convincing him, is like, hey, come in, tell this story. We can do it better this time. So I'm curious.
You have a point there that it could very much well be that Brad Pitt was the one who wanted David Fincher on board.
So I'm curious. I think this could be good because Brad Pitt's been doing some interesting things recently. He's leaned less into the I'm a good-looking young man. Like he's realized that time has passed for him, and he's started playing like more
good-looking old men. No, sorry.
Well, yeah. Well, he's still got good bone structure. You can't hide that. Like, but like he's playing older roles. He's playing like more beardy roles, less like roles that focus on like his looks. It's more like meatier acting roles, which I feel like he's always been a good actor. But
I feel like that's also that's a big comparison between two of his biggest films, Seven and Fight Club. Because Fight Club, it was very much he was a personality. His looks, it was all that about him, you know. But in Seven, I feel like he actually did get a bit more into the nitty-gritty of his acting range and ability.
He does some... if you've ever seen 12 Monkeys, it's by Terry Gilliam. He's in that. He's real good in that. I'd recommend watching that.
Okay.
It's like an out-there kind of role for him back in the day, which was one of the first movies when I was watching it. I think I might have watched it after Fight Club, but when I saw Fight Club, because he's just being so good-looking, and that's like the whole thing about the film. Is like, it's... Tyler fucking Durden. He's so amazing. Whoa. But like in that movie, I was like, Brad Pitt might actually be a good actor. So
well, he's a good actor. He can
12 Monkeys. Check it out.
Yeah. Anyway, we spent a lot of time on that story.
Yeah. Video games.
There's a Nintendo Switch shortage.
Yeah. Apparently, Nintendo have not anticipated how popular the Switch would be.
Yeah, after their abysmal sales of the Wii U.
Yeah, I think the problem there with the Wii U, though, is that, like, I get why, like, I've heard why they called the Wii was because it's something you can say in any language. Like, it's an easy thing, like, you can say it in, like, any Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, English, Afrikaans. You can say it in a bunch of languages.
And all teenage boys had a good little joke about it at the time. Oh, I'm taking a Wii.
Yeah, but like it's an easy thing to pronounce in any language. There's no like R's or like weird.
Well, that's very smart considering. Well, I feel like Nintendo are one of the few big publishers around that's fully like not American because they're fully Japanese.
Yeah, they're very much a Japanese company.
A lot of the big publishers these days are American, like Bethesda, Sony, Xbox.
Sony is like, they are still like still very much like a Japanese company. Like the two big consoles in Japan are like the Nintendo consoles and the PlayStation ones.
Oh yeah,
because Xbox doesn't really sell really well over there. It's not a big thing for them.
Xbox is. Whenever I think Xbox just feels way too bro-y for me. Like, it's gonna bro out, we're gonna play some Halo, we're gonna play some Call of Duty, Gears of the War, that kind of stuff, man.
It is a bit of a bro-y console, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just what rings in my head when people say Xbox.
But I'm sure those Xbox users are fine people.
No, well, Nathan, one of my best friends, he has an Xbox.
He's dead to us now.
He highly regrets it.
Yeah, that's just...
I made him watch the Sony E3 conference with me.
No Spiderman for you.
No Spiderman. And he's still angry that he hasn't gotten Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm like, you got an X-Bone. After that fucking reveal at E3 2013, why would the fuck would you get an X-Bone?
I will admit they probably got better. And like the decisions they made, like a lot of those early things they said they were going to do, they never did. Because that, especially...
The camera is always on! Why?
What the fuck? No.
It has to always be connected to the internet or none of the games will work.
You can't share games.
Yeah.
The system locked to your specific console. Bitch, no. They never did any of those.
We share games all the time in this household because there is 2 PlayStations, mine which is downstairs and there's yours that's upstairs, and we just share games.
Yeah. Do you remember that E3, Sony released like a video of like how to share a PlayStation game, and they like just was 2 guys like handing a game between each other. It's like, here you go. That was the saltiest thing
I think that
ever.
was like the year after. Because
so good.
Yeah, because I think in 2013 when they first announced the next gen consoles, PlayStation went first and then it was Microsoft. So I think it was 2014 the one you said happened.
But yeah, it was like right after like Microsoft's conference, like, yeah, here's the Xbox One, woo, and it was like, oh, whoa, wait, what? And then PlayStation was like, quick, this is a quick and easy thing. We can get a win. We can get so much fucking salt out there. We can share games. Do a little video. It's like, here's how to show a PlayStation game. Hands it to the other guy. We've just shared a PlayStation. I was like, yes. It doesn't apply anymore because obviously Xbox
the thing is,
never
the
did
last
those
generation
things,
with the PS3 and Xbox 360, PlayStation and Xbox neck and neck, the whole race. But
early on, I think Xbox had like, they had a good start. Like PlayStation had a lot of problems at the beginning.
Most of that generation neck and neck. But this generation, just PlayStation have constantly and consistently outsold Xbox.
Yeah, they are still really outpacing them. And I think the problem is Microsoft has really found it hard to break into the Asian market. I feel like they have.
As I said, the games are very broy.
Also, like all of like the Xbox exclusives you can get on PC. So if like someone really wanted to play those games, they might as well just get a PC.
Most people have a computer.
Yeah, which kind of defeats the purpose of like. So why would I get one then if like you don't have any true console exclusives? They're also available on the PC.
If you wanted the game badly enough, just get it on your computer, even if you're not that much of a PC gamer.
True.
So yeah, back to the main point. Nintendo Switch, they've sold a lot, and they don't have enough. And
way more than they expected.
Yeah, and Nintendo actually released an official statement, and all the statement really said is, "We're sorry, we didn't expect this. We're doubling down." That's pretty much what they said. And what I read was also a bad translation from Japanese.
Yeah, but like
I feel like there's never a good translation from Japanese.
Every now and then, but a lot of the time it does come across like, I don't think that's what he said.
It's because their sentence structure is very different to ours. So
but
when you translate, you also have to rearrange the sentence structure.
You'd feel like we'd be used to that because there's a lot of European languages that do that as well. Like French, like changes the pronouns and stuff. Like when you're I don't know if you've watched a lot of French films or TV shows, anything with subtitles, but like they'll do that same thing that Japanese does, where you'll see like a name pop up in the subtitles,
and then it'll be said at different times.
Yeah, said at a different time, and you just be like, because you were listening to, it was like, how is that pronounced? I didn't hear that name at all. Okay, cool.
Yeah, reading subtitles is not a good way to learn a language.
No.
Some people's actually all they have. I've met people who said they've only learned words. They've only learnt English by like watching English TV shows with subtitles.
I feel like I've learned a little bit of Japanese, but just by watching subtitles. I pick up a word. It's also probably a couple of years of learning Japanese in primary school. But you know that's.
And there's also plata or plomo.
Plata or plomo. Yeah, the little bit of Spanish word. Or is it Portuguese? No, it's Spanish. It's Columbia Spanish. Yeah.
Plata or plomo. What does it mean? Silver or lead? Isn't that it?
Yeah. Silver or lead.
Yeah.
Great saying. Terrible man. Great
saying. So yeah, Nintendo Switch. They've sold a lot of them. Yay.
Good for them.
Yeah. So Aiden, do you want to tell us what your boy Denzel's up to?
Oh, my great grandpappy Denzel.
Yeah, your great grandpappy
Uncle Denzel.
Uncle Denzel.
Well, Denzel Washington, Roman Israel Esquire.
Okay, I wrote this note down badly. You didn't read about this. Obviously, that was my bad trying to hand that story off to you.
Yeah, you did. What is this, a movie he's doing?
Yeah, it's a movie he's doing. It's called Roman Israel Esquire.
All right.
That's his character's name in the movie's
Do you want me to do a movie voice reading the plot description of you?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
it's very fragmented because I kind of wrote note down. So
defense attorney helping the oppressed. Offered a job at prestigious law firm after partner's death, but takes life-altering case.
And that is literally all we know about the plot.
So it's a courtroom drama?
Maybe?
And he's a lawyer.
Yeah, well, basically all we know is he's a defense attorney. He's a defense attorney, and he basically, I think he's very much like he takes on cases like people who are being maybe like racially oppressed and whatever, like a white girl saying, "Oh, this black man touched me," and he's like, "No, I didn't. She just saying that 'cause I'm black." Something like that, you know?
You sure you're not getting this movie mixed up with that Chadwick Boseman movie?
No.
Is that not the plot of the Chadwick Boseman?
From what I've read about this movie, it does sound similar plot line to the Chadwick Boseman one.
It's also a little bit similar to Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But that seems to be the only
what I just said is
drama
just
that gets
me
made.
just spitballing, because literally what I've written down is what we know about the plot line.
Well, looks all right. Was there a trailer or is it just a plot line?
Just that small plot synopsis and the name of the movie.
Roman Israel Esquire.
And
He's got a lot of place names in his name.
Yeah, he does too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Except Esquire. I think Esquire's a place.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Everything's a place these days.
Yeah.
Roman Israel. Right. Was Roman Israel, Greek, Spain, Bangladesh. My name is Roman Israel, Greek, Spain, Bangladesh. And I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, that's its full name.
Oh, are you a pro-immigration lawyer? Nope. Hate other places. Only like America. The name's Roman Israel, Greek, Spain, Bangladesh. And I hate all of those countries aforementioned.
You know what I'd find hilarious?
And cities.
If there was just like some really like Texan hillbilly and just like, my name is Jose Hernandez.
There probably is a lot of Texans named Jose Hernandez.
But like really like white, like...
There probably are a lot of white Texans named Jose Hernandez. The border's real close, and Mexicans don't all look brown. Some of them look real white.
True. I'm
So
being like a real racist one, like, I gotta build that wall.
Again, probably is.
I remember who it was, but
You've picked too realistic an example, mate.
I didn't think it would be realistic. I remember what it was, but I was hearing the other day about someone who like an immigrant to America, like a refugee, and they're like a strong Trump supporter, like, yeah, build the wall. I'm like, wait, but you're a refugee. I'm like, yeah, but I'm already here. What about your family? You'll never see them again.
I don't like those people.
Do you
I was watching
that?
the same thing, yeah.
What was it?
What was it? It was some comedian doing like a bit on a late night show. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure, yeah.
It was.
And they were talking about like, yeah, the immigrants and stuff they've met that support Trump, and yeah, a lot of them are like, yeah, no,
build the wall.
Build the wall.
We're here now.
We're here now. We're good. Don't send any more.
But that also doesn't work because if he decided to cancel their visas.
Yeah, he's real keen on doing a lot of deportations.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about politics. This is a politics.
Let's talk about the X-Men.
Free episode. Yeah. Let's talk about the X-Men.
And
what about them?
Show The Gifted.
Oh yeah, The Gifted, the one that looks like Heroes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, basically,
we've got a premiere date.
Yeah.
Tell us when it is.
It's October 2nd.
Ooh, that's
buddy. At 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
I remember. 9 p.m. American time.
1:30 Australian time, probably.
I was about to say, you can convert time that quickly?
Nope. All shows come out basically at 1:30 here. Well, they show up on the internet about 1:30 here.
They show up on our totally legal
websites. Ways that it'll be a Stan exclusive. Sure, probably.
Yeah, Stan exclusive.
Yeah.
They have great exclusives.
They do actually. They actually have some great exclusives. Don't knock Stan.
I've never really used.
They have Sherlock. They have Ash vs. the Evil Dead. They've got Twin Peaks at the moment. They've got iZombie. They actually do have a couple of...
Those aren't exclusives, though. Those are just TV shows they have the rights to.
The rights to distribute in Australia at the same time as America gets them.
Oh, okay. So they do it at the same time as Americans. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I mean by, like, Stan exclusives is, like, the exclusive distribution rights in Australia.
So I wish Netflix did more of that, because there's quite a few shows where they have the exclusive distribution rights in Australia.
They have a few.
But none of them air weekly.
Riverdale airs weekly.
It's a Netflix original, though, isn't it?
No. That's a CW show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Scream, that was a MTV show. Netflix Australia had the rights to that. Star Trek is going to be produced for CBS.
So they don't have enough shows that I care about. They're weekly.
Motherfucking Star Trek, man.
I've never been into Star Trek.
Well, what kind of fake nerd? Get out of here, you fake nerd girl.
Fake nerd girl.
Fake gamer girl. You don't even play games. You're talking shit about the Xbox. You don't even know what an Xbox is, do you?
Xbox is what I put my makeup in.
Fake news.
Fake news. I'm fake news.
You are fake news. Speaking of not fake news. Speaking of
real
news.
We are not fake news
about fake people. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
The highest grossing live action movie directed by a single woman.
Yeah.
$500 million so far.
Yeah. Internationally, it made $500 million. That's a lot of money.
So
to poke a stick at.
I'm kind of glad that Wonder Woman has done real well because this was kind of like a turning point. Like either DC got good and people would care about it, or they wouldn't, and it would just continue to go downhill.
Well, see, I feel like when we did our review, we were very much just like, I think we were both solid 7 out of 10 area-ish. Like, yeah, it was good, not perfect, but I'm just so much more hyped for it. Just seeing how everyone else has been hyped for it. Like,
I've
this
seen
is probably the only DC movie that I think is like universally liked.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people out there who love it. I've been seeing a lot of like neat little stories around. Like Patty Jenkins shared a thing that was sent to her about like a bunch of kindergartners who, I don't know, had seen the movie or like been aware of the movie. Like girls were like dressing up like Amazons or playing as Amazons and like in the playground. A boy used to have like a Spiderman lunchbox, now had a Wonder Woman lunchbox.
Yeah,
little stories like that I'm like, you know what? This movie is important. This is good.
It's an important movie.
I'm glad that the movie's good. I'm
real
glad.
I had a family member who lives up in Queensland ask me after I posted that we'd seen it, like, is it appropriate for little girls? I'm like, it's only appropriate for little girls. It is the most appropriate for little girls.
It's a little, it's about World War I, so it's a little dark. There's a little bit of brutality in there, but I think the positive messages and seeing like all these strong women in like Themyscira, especially that bit, I feel like for a lot of little girls, they just be like,
I want to be like them when I grow up.
Yeah, which is good,
because we grew up and we had Spider-Man.
We had all the Spider-Mans. Well, I guess probably had more than me. I don't have a lot.
You had Black Panther.
Now I do.
Now
before that, it was like, oh boy, I can't wait to help a white man fix crime in a city. Woo boy.
Too old for this shit.
Sure can't wait to be a John Diggle or a Captain Joe West or a Wally West or
Oliver. You're going too far.
You're too far, Oliver.
I love how
Didn't you used to talk like a normal person? Nope.
I love how whenever anyone is serious in Arrow, they start, do you whisper yell?
They've all got their whisper yell. I am doing the best I can, Felicity. No, Oliver, you're not doing the best you can. Oliver, you need to change your ways. Oliver, you need to change your ways. Speak normally. Stop whisper yelling.
They all whisper yell.
Oh, so gravelly. Everyone is Batman on that show.
And I feel like in the last couple seasons, they've gotten worse at it.
They have. I felt they've all... That's the problem. Like, once you like play a character for a long time, you stop kind of playing the character and play like a parody of that character.
Yeah.
Which, eventually, you can do a little bit better. Like, Hugh Jackman, he went through like a phase where like it was Wolverine, kind of a parody of Wolverine, the most Wolverine that ever Wolverined. So like he had a ditch, he had like a bell curve. Yeah. And I feel like maybe that's what a lot of these people are going through. It's like, oh yeah, I guess so. This is hey now, you need to upswing right about now.
Yeah, so they're either on the upswing or they're just going to keep going down. Yeah, so along with that title, Wonder Woman has gone. It is on its way to ending up on the top 10 list of highest grossing superhero movies ever. Which, with this overly saturated market of superhero films, is a good job in and of itself.
Yeah. It's... There's another part of me that's kind of a little bit annoyed at Wonder Woman, because now, where before I was kind of like, sure, whatever, Justice League, just come out, whatever.
Now my hopes are up
now
again.
My hopes are up again, and oh god, this movie better not suck. Why should I be feeling this trepidation about a bloody Justice League movie? These are some of the biggest characters in like pop culture lore. These are like they're so different to the way like Marvel's like superhero roster works out. Like Marvel's their Avengers team, it's a lot of regular people and then 2 or 3 super powerful people. Well, like everyone on the Justice League team is like
Super powerful.
they're fucking gods. Like even Batman is like the most prepared Captain America, but with $1 billion.
Batman, Captain America was prepared and rich.
And then like everyone else, like Flash can tap into the Speed Force. Like the way DC's characters are written,
powers.
they're very different to the way Marvel write their characters. Well, like Marvel, they have like a lot of characters these days that are kind of very cosmically powered, but a lot of their like street heroes, they're just mostly regular people who can do a couple of things.
Well, I feel like most of Marvel's biggest, most popular characters are like regular people. Like Spiderman, most popular character. Regular man, just
mostly a
with some cool
regular
powers.
person. Like he does deal with a lot of those. They've added like things that are like big, like weird cosmic events for him and like clones and whatever. But like he's still mostly just a
When
regular
you get
dude.
down to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with freaking Iron Man. Like, yeah, he's a billionaire or whatever, but he's still very much like he's not a god. He's
Hawkeye, regular person.
Black Widow,
regular person. Ant-Man, regular person.
I
puts on a
guess
suit, yeah.
Hulk in a sort of kind of
Hulk
way.
is the only person who's like he's got a regular side, but he's mostly like he's a big fucking muscly green dude. Like that's a little more DC than the rest of these people.
Yeah, well, and Thor as well because he's literally a god.
But then fucking everyone in like Justice League is a god. The Flash
they're
can
all 4
tap into the Speed Force, which is like this incomprehensible energy that makes it move like so ridiculously fast. Aquaman is basically Poseidon. Wonder Woman is basically a demigod. Fucking Cyborg is technology. He's like a new American god kind of thing. They're all gods, which is which means they have to approach these movies a little differently than your Marvel movies. Marvel movies, a lot of regular broken people coming together to defeat a big old thing, where this needs to be like bringing together these group of like gods and getting them to work together and stuff. And I just want this film to be good. I really want it to be good, and I'm just worried.
Yeah,
but there's a little bit of hope that maybe Wonder Woman can save this movie as well.
Yeah, let's move on to something that's definitely going to be good. No doubts in my mind. Westworld.
Yeah.
What a season that was that we got last year.
Great season.
Great
new show on HBO. Like that was like
I feel like
a really good thing for HBO to do, because like Game of Thrones, it's coming to an end, and people are in their mind kind of thinking, well, what's going to be the next big thing? What next like big world am I going to invest myself in? Westworld comes along and like, you're going to be here for a while. You're pretty good. I'm going to stick this out.
Yeah.
So they're about to start filming the second season, I believe. Yeah.
What did I write down? Starts filming next month.
Ooh. So that's going to be like released next year, I assume.
Next year.
Yeah.
Because a show like that, there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like filming a movie, but
and I don't
like
think
filming 4 movies.
They were entirely sure that it was going to be Game of Thrones popular. Like they put a lot of money in it, and they thought it was going to be good. But
now they know it is.
Yeah, there's always that kind of like, well, we think it's good, but are people going to respond to this the way that we hope they will? And so there was like, there wasn't that initial kind of like, we're just going to have like production roll right through, like keep investing money. It's like, no, we took a little bit of a breath and let the world respond to it, and then like, it was good. All right.
Yeah.
We can do a second season now.
We pretty much universally said, yep.
Yes.
Keep going, HBO.
Give us more. So
give us more.
That's good.
And
I'm looking
there's so
forward to
many
more.
mysteries and loose ends, and because I like how this is what I think Westworld Season 1 did brilliantly. It told its own story that had a beginning, middle, and end throughout the season, but it also left the door open that it can continue going without feeling like they're just making more for the sake of making more.
Yeah,
and they're not just making a show just to keep making a show. They still have a story. It's still the one story. It's just this story has different parts.
There was enough lore and side stories and characters that we'd come to know and and or at least
Like
enjoy
or
watching.
dislike.
Yeah.
There's characters you're meant to dislike.
But you dislike him in a way that I want to see more of you, because sometimes you could dislike a character and be like, I don't want to ever see this character again. They're just annoying. They don't bring me any joy, or the joy I get from hating something. It's just ugh. There are some characters on Orange is the New Black that I just think should go away. The meth heads, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Have them overdose or something. Get them out of there. But there wasn't really that on Westworld. Where
See, you get the man in black who throughout it, you're he's such a mystery, but he's an asshole, and it's
he's a very interesting mystery.
And then there's Anthony Hopkins Ford, which is you never know whether you like him or you don't like him, if you should trust him or if you shouldn't trust him. There's just so many layers to his performance.
Such a great performance by Anthony Hopkins. Oof.
Yeah.
So good. So many good performances on that show. It's a real good show. It's got one of the bloody Hemsworths in it.
Yeah,
he plays a security guard.
Well,
the other Hemsworth.
He was the head of the security department.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to play a bigger part in season 2.
I mean, you'd hope so. You'd hope that he gets to... I mean, it's weird for me to hope that a really good-looking man who's from a wealthy family gets to be a bit more popular, but I don't know.
They're from Port Phillip. They're from Port Phillip with the Penguins, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's a great place. I've been there many times.
Yeah, you grew up with the Penguins. I like you, Penguin man. Anyone not from Melbourne probably doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. Port Phillip is an island. It's about an hour drive from Melbourne.
There's penguins there.
There's penguins.
Little penguins,
yeah.
as Benedict Cumberbatch would pronounce it. Yeah. Penguins.
Yeah, and they always come there, almost every night. They come into the shore.
Delightful little fuckers. Yeah.
They're tiny and they're cute. And
wap, 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 wap,
they
wap,
waddle.
Wap.
One made friends with my mum.
Speaking of an island with little creatures on it, Jurassic World.
What a segue!
What a bloody segue, mate. Blah, 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 blah. Jurassic World has been... We knew it was getting a sequel.
Yes.
Because it made all of the money.
Yes, all of the money. Not some of the money, all of the money.
It might be the third or fourth highest grossing film of all time. It's one of the most highest grossing films of all time, which is surprising because a lot of people were kind of it's just okay.
I was like that. It's fine. It's fine.
It wasn't the first one, which I don't think they can make another one like that, but that doesn't matter, I guess.
So, they've put out the poster and the title for this
It's
new
basically
movie.
the same
and
poster.
The poster never changes.
No, it's the same poster, but the subtitle is Fallen Kingdom, which I guess... I don't know what that means.
How about that? Not a fucking clue.
I guess the island is controlled by dinosaurs now, which, we haven't seen that before. Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Yeah.
Maybe the next one will be Jurassic World: The Lost Park. Bad jokes.
Yeah. I don't know what they do in a sequel to this. I'm interested. Hopefully, it's a different story than just the park is operating. Oh no, the thing got out. Oh no.
Aiden, you know as well as I do. So long as they keep making money from this, they're gonna keep making them.
I know. I just could they make it good at the same time? You know.
Hope springs eternal, Aiden.
Speaking of hope. This is a character that first appeared in a film called A New Hope. Han Solo. The entire reason I do this podcast is to think of segues.
And just see me lose my shit every time you make the most effort for a segue.
Yeah. So, Han Solo. We knew who was going to be in it. Alden...
I think it's Enright.
Enright?
And our boy Donald Glover.
Our boy Donald Glover was going to be the smoothest motherfucker in the galaxy, Lando Calrissian.
Or Lando Calriss Aiden, as in our group chat. Jesse called me racist when I did that, but I knew you took it as a compliment.
Hey man, he's the smoothest motherfucker in the galaxy.
Yeah. What other big name is in this movie? I know there's another really big name in this movie.
I think... what's her name? Khaleesi.
Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark. She's going to be in it. Woody
Her role
Harrelson.
is undisclosed right now, though, so I'm thinking it must be a new character.
Woody Harrelson is going to be in it.
Oh yeah, Woody Harrelson.
And originally we had directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller were going to be the directors. So they've done films like 21 and 22 Jump Street, the Lego Movie. You know, they're known for like taking a franchise that people don't expect to be good and then making it good. And they've dropped out as directors over creative differences, which at first was kind of like, oh, that's a bit of a bummer. But now a new director has been picked up, Ron Howard. Which is an interesting choice, because the thing with these big budget tentpole movies is that we've seen a trend for a long time now, is that you don't really get like established directors to direct these movies. Like you look at all of the movies that are coming out of even like Star Wars and the Jurassic Park films and all these Marvel films. A lot of the time we're getting people from TV. We're getting small indie directors who've maybe done one or two indie things or a couple of TV things, and then all of a sudden they're doing a big budget tentpole thing, because either A, they've worked in the TV kind of studio system, so they'll be more kind of acclimatized to all these like outside influences and ideas and like that kind of collaborative effort instead of like a singular writer-director vision. Or they're an indie director and like this is like a big break for them, so they're willing to compromise a little and cooperate the studio a little bit more. But you don't really see like a Steven Spielberg directing a Superman movie, or I'm trying to think what's another, like, I don't know.
Because I feel like your Steven Spielbergs and whatever, feels weird saying it feels like they want to do more Oscar bait type crap.
Yeah, these days, like, it seems like Steven Spielberg is more interested in those kind of things. Well, like, he's the one who like pretty much invented the summer blockbuster with Jaws.
Very true.
So like he's allowed to like, look,
he can do his own thing.
I can do my own thing. That's fine. But it's interesting. You don't use this is like a what would, you know, in some other realm be like oh yeah, established director Ron Howard is directing a big budget tentpole movie. It'd be like, sure, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in this current climate where like every other film is directed by a Peyton Reed or a Colin Trevorrow.
Well, see, the thing is also right now we're in a weird period where the films that make a lot of money are not 100% not the same films that go ahead and win all these awards.
No, they're completely different.
Yeah, so and you get your directors and your actors who are more suited to which ones, and every time they go to cross over, you think, okay. It's a weird climate.
Just missed that. Sorry. Reminder to feed the cats. I should do that after this podcast.
That we should.
So I feel like it makes a little bit sense to get someone like Ron Howard, because he does have a TV background. He did do Arrested Development. He was a producer in that. I think one of the lead kind of creatives that got that off the ground. He's done like a lot of sequels to things like those Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code and all that.
Oh yeah, he did those.
So he's done sequels. He's worked in that kind of like a sequel-y world. He's done like a TV world. So he's willing to collaborate and work in like a big effort. But like lately it seemed like he's been more interested in doing things like under what was that movie where it was like Chris Hemsworth and it was like the thing that Moby Dick was based on. Did some story like that. He also did Rush.
Oh yeah, that sea movie that no one watched.
Yeah, my mum saw it. Apparently, she thought it was good. So there you go. It's got our boy Tom Holland in it as a cabin boy.
There you go.
Maybe it's worth seeing one day. But
one day when it goes to Netflix, if it does.
But yeah, it wasn't on my radar at all. For like, oh, who could direct a Han Solo movie? It's probably going to be some indie director. Nope, Ron Howard. All righto.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get like Arrested Development except Han Solo, if we're lucky. Or if we're unlucky, I don't know.
But if we're unlucky.
I don't know what this Han Solo movie is going to be like. I feel like it's not what I want to see from like a Star Wars spin-off movie. I want to see more stories about things that we haven't heard of before or characters we haven't seen before, like little one-shot stories. Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Like I really liked Rogue One. Like Rogue One was like that kind of video. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
was
a small
in
thing of
the
like,
universe, but it was different characters.
Yeah, there's one like
story.
Like, we stole these Death Star plans. Like, how did they get those Death Star plans? Well, let's make
Here
a
we
movie
go.
about that. Yeah,
it was basically the most expensive cover for a plot hole in existence.
Mm.
Because there was a plot hole like, how is there such a design flaw in the Death Star that one bullet will, make the whole thing blow up? And it was just, let's put a lot of money into covering that plot hole.
When you think about it, like,
let's fill that plot hole with money.
A space station of that size would make an enormous amount of exhaust. So it would have exhaust ports.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the kind of thing you can't really avoid.
Yeah. But the fact that one bullet, what
was a missile, yeah.
Yeah, one missile into an exhaust port can blow up the whole station is absurd until you get down to the nitty-gritty that it was kind of built that way purposely. So, yeah.
But yeah, it was a way to kind of look at Star Wars a little differently. Like, there weren't the wipes. It was more kind of a war film than it was that, which is a weird thing to say. Like, these Star Wars films are not really war films. They're adventure kind of sci-fi fantasy
They're space
films.
operas.
Yeah, big old space operas.
He basically invented the space opera. Well, and if not invented, at least reinvented.
Repopularized the space opera. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you go back, there are a lot of like pulp fiction kind of serial novels like Flash Gordon. And,
Yeah, about to say, well, Flash Gordon, because, George Lucas wanted to make a Flash Gordon movie.
Couldn't get the rights, made Star Wars instead.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
While making the first one, none of them thought it would be any good. Mark Hamill was waiting tables while he filmed The New Hope.
How about that, eh?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was a carpenter.
Ooh. Do you want to talk about some trailers?
Yeah, let's talk about some trailers. So Ron Howard directing Han Solo. Do you think yay or nay?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure, exactly. That's my sure. Why not?
Yeah.
This movie's its release date hasn't changed. Its cast still looks okay. Well, I like Donald Glover and Woody Harrelson and Emilia Clarke. I haven't really seen Alden Ehrenreich in anything, so I'm optimistic.
Yeah, optimistic to say the least.
So trailers. Speaking of big old HBO and all that earlier, Game of Thrones, they've released a new trailer for the upcoming season. Looks pretty damn good. Looks like it's going to be a very big budget, big expensive season, which you kind of expect with there only being 7 episodes.
Yeah.
That they're going to have more money per episode. They're going to be able to do more per episode.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, you look at 7 episodes and you think that's not enough, but at the same time, you're like,
when you think about
the amount of journey you're going to take on those 7 episodes, because those are going to be 7 packed episodes.
They're going to be super packed. And I've always felt like there are a couple of, like, maybe not filler episodes, but filler moments that would, like, build up to, like, to be 3 episodes in every Game of Thrones season. Yeah, so, like, now that, like, a lot of characters have died, we're compacting people into the same place, so a lot of people are in the same place.
You can see it all heading to the same point. But at this point, everyone is looking at King's Landing.
Yeah, everything's kind of slowly merging together, and we're all kind of preparing for, like, this big kind of winter battle.
Yeah.
Dragons versus ice zombies. A song of ice and fire. We're getting there.
I just did a hand movement.
Because this is a visual podcast.
Yes. Words. Podcasts. Audio. Me.
Yes, so it looks pretty good. Any favorite moments from this new trailer?
There's so much.
I think there's a
little Jon Snow speech where it kind of sounds like him and, Khaleesi making a pact, making an alliance.
I feel like everyone is like hoping and waiting for that to happen because there's like a couple of characters that are bad and you want to see them like fight other ones, but like no one wants to see the Starks versus the Targaryens because like we've been rooting for both of them for so long. And it's no, just have them team up. That's makes it so much easier for the rest of us. Like. Otherwise, we will be so emotionally just drained, and I don't think we'll enjoy the show.
Yeah, no, they have to. And from that Jon Snow speech, it 100% sounds like they're going to do that.
Good.
I still stick with my theory that at the end of the three, Tyrion, Daenerys, and Jon will end up all being rulers. Because I think Tyrion's going to rule over Essos, Daenerys will be on the Iron Throne, and the North will claim independence and become its own sovereign nation with Jon Snow as the king.
I feel like Tyrion has had his kind of fill of being a ruler, and he's quite happy to be the hand of the queen.
Yeah.
I feel like he's quite happy
Now,
with
see,
that.
I feel like because there's that theory where the Tyrions are Targaryen as well, because apparently the Mad King raped his mother.
Yeah.
And so, and the reason that there's 3 dragons because there's 1 dragon for each of the living Targaryens.
Azor Ahai, the prince was promised.
Yeah. All the fanfare is whatever. So yeah, that's where I stand on my opinion of what I think might
Anyone
happen.
who's been following the show up to this point we've all heard the theories.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like...
This is me reminding you, I remember this theory. You're like, oh yeah, I remember this theory.
Yeah. I feel like...
That's why I didn't dive deep. Like, oh, remember
do you actually
that?
think they'll go through with that? Like, all these people have like fanfares like, yeah, they're going to do this. And like...
Well, they
would be seeing this as well. Do you think they would
there was the fanfare,
pivot?
but, R plus L equals J.
That turned out to be true.
That turned out to be true.
Yeah, but I feel
But
like
I feel like
that
that was less people,
less...
I think it was less them going with that, and more that was always what it was, and people figured it out.
Yeah.
Because I remember they said when the showrunners of this went to George R.R. Martin and asked, we want to make a Game of Thrones show, George R.R. Martin said to them, okay, tell me who Jon Snow's mother is. And only because they answered it correctly were they allowed to make the show. Which it shows you how committed he is to his story and his characters. That he wanted to see them done justice. What a show.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from our Game of Thrones nerding out. Now, just earlier today, we watched the trailer for a new war movie called Thank You for Your Service.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird name for a movie, but it didn't look bad.
It looked like a lot of these kind of modern kind of war films that I've been seeing popping up on like Netflix and whatnot. And it looks okay. It looks like there's going to be a lot of hopefully strong performances and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a bit sick of this kind of like hero worship of like the American military.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of self-wanking over like how fucking great they are and how they're such big fucking heroes. And it's like, oh, get over yourselves.
See, if you could look past that, I feel like this will be a very strongly emotional movie.
I'm sure it will be.
It feels like it's going to be... Well, it looks like it's going to be that whole experience of the soldier coming home from war, but he took the war home with him.
Yeah, I've seen that story before. Next. I don't know. It's not for me. Like, it does look good. It looks well made. Performances look good. Looks well shot.
I like the look of it. Maybe you'd be more excited for this if you've seen Whiplash and you know that Miles Teller can give a fucking brilliant performance.
That might be it. Because that seems to be like the one thing is like, because everyone who seems to like Miles Teller is like, well, it was good in Whiplash. Maybe he'll be good in something else. And then he never is.
Well, all I've seen him in is Whiplash and Fan Four Stick. I didn't watch War Dogs. I've heard War Dogs is fine.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I was initially excited about it, but then I heard that it was just kind of like, if you've seen a lot of Martin Scorsese films, you've already seen
Scorsese?
It's not Scorsese, but like it takes a lot of
Scorsese inspired.
Yeah, it's a lot of those kind of like, all my life I wanted to be a gangster, or like I'm a nobody, but then we were pulling it. It's like the voiceover, like we were doing this scam and we're doing it. See, and look how great we're making so much money.
Frame. Now you're probably wondering what was happening right here.
It was the greatest thing in the Thor trailer. I just like you're probably wondering, how did I get here? It's like, are they honestly doing this?
I didn't know what was happening. I was like, wait, what?
Did they just freeze frame? And then like, cool, yeah. That was the worst Robert Plant ever. Never do that.
It was more just a wail than anything.
You know what, buddy? Maybe you shouldn't join that Led Zeppelin cover band.
Oh, that Led Zeppelin cover band that I've been practicing with?
Yeah, I think it's not for you.
I'm the vocalist for.
Yeah, I think maybe...
Come for the land of the ice and snow with.
Maybe they should go with someone else.
Maybe they should.
Maybe you should. Flatliners, you just saw the trailer for this.
Flatliners. Yes, Ellen Page and some other attractive white people.
Some other people. Yeah.
It's
got that guy from Rogue One.
Oh, yeah, Riz Ahmed.
Yeah.
I was looking at thinking, who the fuck is that? I know him. But
was it Riz Ahmed or the other one?
Riz Ahmed. He played the pilot.
I thought there was not the pilot, but the other one who's like the rebel. Who
No.
actually
It
meets
was
up
Riz
with-
Ahmed.
You
Trust
sure?
me,
I'm pretty
I
sure
know
he
me
was
my
in it.
Riz Ahmed.
All right, he might be in it as well. I'm saying they might both be in it. Hold on.
I thought it was Riz Ahmed at least.
Let's have a little Google. It's a Google.
It's
Gonna do a Google. Gonna look up who was in this movie because that's
because we're such a
we do.
professional podcast.
We're
Well, I'm
so
googling Riz Ahmed. Are you
professional.
googling Flatliners?
Diego Luna. That's who's in it.
Oh, so it wasn't Riz. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's this guy.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, not Riz Ahmed. I thought it was the other one. It's also got Kiefer Sutherland. It's got Jack Bauer and some other people.
So, from what I got from the trailer, it kind of looks like a cross
basically.
between The Discovery, which was that movie with Jason Segel and Rooney Mara on Netflix, where Willem Dafoe finds out that there's an afterlife, crossed with Final Destination. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
They're making themselves die, go into the afterlife. They're coming back with some powers, but then some weird monstery things are chasing them and trying to kill them for their powers they get for
Yeah, some kind
dying.
of supernatural horror thing. I'm pretty sure it's based off another film.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, there is a 1990 American science fiction psychological horror film directed by Joel Schumacher. Ooh. Produced by Michael Douglas. Ooh. It stars Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt, Kevin Bacon. Ooh. Oh, but so apparently Kiefer Sutherland is in both of these. So maybe it's like a sequel, I guess?
When was the
Maybe.
first one?
First one was in 1990.
Nah, it's got to be a reboot.
A remake starring Ellen Page was announced following the cast. Kiefer Sutherland will return for the remake. Sutherland later disclosed that he was reprising his role from the original film, feeling that the new film would actually be a sequel rather than a remake. There you go. Kind of like how a Jurassic World is like a
It's
soft
both a reboot and a
soft reboot, but like still set in the same world as
so
that
like
other
people
thing.
like you who'd seen the previous ones growing up could get the nostalgia. People like me who hadn't really watched the other ones could still enjoy it.
Yes. Well, enjoy is a strong word.
Enjoy is a strong word. Yeah.
What else?
Anyway, I'm interested to see more of this.
The trailer,
Flatliners.
I did like how the trailer kept kind of upping like the stakes. Like at first you think it's this one thing, and then it's this other thing.
Yeah, it really.
and then it's
it
another.
felt
thing.
very much just like, oh, they're having a good time. They're getting powers. I thought it was going to be a superhero movie for a second.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like at first. But then it's like, oh wait, no, things are going a bit dark. Is this a horror movie? Oh, what?
It kind of is a horror
Yeah.
movie.
So then they're bringing in elements of the supernatural, meeting with science. So it's like science and supernatural meeting together, which is the science and the supernatural have always had like a
Love-hate
relationship. Like a lot of the time, it's like, no, we'll just go straight supernatural. It's all like biblical references and mythology, no science. But other times have been like, well, let's science it up a little bit. That's how you get like the rage zombies that are 28 days later. That's how you get like more sciencey versions of vampires, which is, I feel like, is interesting. I feel like that's a good way to kind of update mythology, kind of bring it in if you want to do a bit more of a science fiction bent, but you want to use some supernatural characters, throw some science, and then chuck the science away and do some random magic shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there was one last trailer, another American army wank.
American Assassin.
It's not as much of an army wank.
This film
as
looks
much.
like to be a bigger budget film than I initially thought.
Yeah.
It was.
So
Because the first trailer, it's very kind of like personal. It's about Dylan O'Brien, kind of like he has this
No, I
tragedy.
didn't see the first trailer.
Tragedy happened to him. Like, it's basically the same thing. It's has a tragedy happen to him, and he starts like training it, like basically like, I'm gonna Batman the shit out of myself, and he starts Batmaning up, and then the CIA kind of get wind, and they're
And
like,
Michael Keaton.
yeah, so he starts training with Michael Keaton, and then it seems like he goes to like Europe and stuff, and there's explosions and car chases and planes crashing into
Basically, all I got was
warships.
he's being trained to be an assassin by Michael Keaton, and crazy shit is happening.
Yeah, which is, is kind of fitting. He has a tragedy happen to him. He starts Batmaning up, and then the CIA is like, if you're going to be Batman, you need to learn from a Batman. Starts learning from Michael Keaton. So on that kind of meta aspect, I kind of want to see it for that because I'm kind of like a.
I
Yeah,
kind of want to
train
see it
him,
because
Batman,
just
to
watching
become
that
the new
trailer,
Batman.
because it just looks like action. All
the action does look pretty good in it,
and it kind of looked a bit visceral. There was one shot of someone getting ran over by a truck, and you see the corpse rolling and the blood coming out as the truck runs over them.
So this
It was
could
the
be
Red
like
Band trailer.
could be a
Obviously.
bit heavy, heavy with the violence. This could be interesting.
Like some heavy violence. Like when we watched Headshot the other day, that was visceral.
That movie's fun isn't the right word. It's a visceral time.
It's a visceral time. I like some visceral violence sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
We're
That's
done
it for our list.
Done for trailers. All right. Well, Brett, got any recommendations?
Man, I've just been playing The Witcher all week and working.
Still recommend it?
I still recommend
Still
it.
recommend? You recommend working?
Oh, if you need money.
If you must.
I mean,
if
you're rich,
if
and
you gotta
don't
pay-
need any more money, don't. Just don't.
Yeah, just play The Witcher instead.
Just play The Witcher. That's my recommendation.
Well, at least
Quit
The
your
Witcher
just-
free. Like you
Witcher
could recommend
free.
that one. The other ones, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't played the other one.
Haven't played. Can't say personally.
Yeah. Well, basically, if you haven't played the other ones, it doesn't matter too much. I mean, it's not to the point of Skyrim or Fallout 4 not mattering.
Yeah.
It's like, because you are the same dude, and there's a lot of people you've known from previous games, but you get everything. Just from their interactions and what they say to each other. You
I
don't
feel like
need
that's
to know the history
something
that
you
much.
kind of have to do when you like change a generation of like platforms.
Yeah.
Like that was something that you get a little bit worried about playing. Like, oh, it's this game 7 on the PS4 of this long overarching story that's been going since the PlayStation 1. And you're just like, I don't want to have to go back and play a PlayStation 1 game just to understand what's going on here. So it's good that
it makes their
you
market
got to do that.
smaller when
it
they
does.
do
It really
like
does
that.
narrow it down. It's like that initial market you got, maybe a little bit of expansion because it was still kind of close around to it, and then it kind of stagnates because
Yeah.
if you don't allow like entry points for people to come in.
Yeah. Oh, and also Gwent is real fun. Gwent, the card game within The Witcher. Real
Care
fun.
for a game of Gwent.
Yeah. And I've actually heard recently they've released a version of Gwent that's just Gwent, the game,
Just
for Xbox One and PC, not for PlayStation. Though.
oh no, you can't play Gwent with all those other Gwent playing Gwents. Gwenters, as they say.
I gotta show you, after we finish this recording, I'm turning on my PlayStation, I'll show you Gwent, because it's actually
I'm
a fun
good.
time. It's a fun time, eh?
I'm good.
It's a fun time!
I'm sure it is.
You're my
I'm
friend,
good.
and I want you to have a fun time!
Fun times. I don't like those.
What
Because
is-
card games involve a lot of reading. And as you know, Brett, reading is in books. And books are for nerds. That's not for me.
That's a stretch. It's a fucking stretch.
Books are for nerds!
What do you recommend this week, Aiden? Obviously, no fucking books.
No, no, not books. Books are for nerds. I recommend some comic book stuff. I've been catching up on a couple of things. I read the first issue of Defenders because Marvel they've teamed up. Because like obviously they've got this Defenders show coming out. They want to get ahead of it, have a couple of comic book issues out
course.
there. It's okay. It's only one issue. It's very action packed. I was trying to catch up on all these other things. There's a new Luke Cage series that's just started. So he's got a solo series at the moment. It's pretty good. Iron Fist. I read first 2 or 3 issues of that. It's been real good. I need to get back into that, but I was reading a bit of Jessica Jones as well. That's been real good. It's been nice to get back into that kind of alias investigations kind of world. That art style. She looks very different in the comics. A lot more frumpy. A lot more kind of like a real person than a Kristen Ritter does. Kristen Ritter
Kristen Ritter's got a weird figure.
she actually looks more like Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman. Like if you look in the comics, like the art they do for Jessica Drew compared to like Jessica Jones, like Kristen Ritter looks a lot more like Spider-Woman than she does look like Jessica Jones.
There you go.
But that's fine. Like if I was to recast and do someone, I'd probably get. Do you know a Jewel State? Have you ever watched Firefly?
No,
Well,
I shook my head. No, I haven't.
Yeah. No. Well, there's an actress in that who I would have probably cast as Jessica Jones. I would have probably got someone a little shorter, a little stockier, and brunette hair to play Jessica Jones. Because in the comics, she's just a heavy drinker. Like when she appears in like other issues, she looks more like Kristen Ritter. and like in the artwork and stuff, she looks more like Kristen Ritter, but like the cover art. But within the comics themselves, the way that she's drawn and like the art style of the book, it's very kind of like frumpy and like she's just woken up. So it's like, what? Oh, fuck it. Yeah, cool. I'll go and do that right away, right after this bottle of Jack Daniels. Haha. Which
Yeah.
I like that Jessica Jones, but Kristen Ritter's fine. Jessica Jones is a good TV show.
Yeah, she did a great job.
She's fine. I have no problems with her performance. Just visually, I feel like just because I'm reading this comic, I'm looking at it and it's like that. She looks way more like this other character than she does this. I've also been reading Spider-Man, Miles Morales, which catching up a bit on that. Reading Daredevil, catching up a bit on that. I was reading a bit of Captain America, Steve Rogers, because he's all evil, and Hydra now. And Secret Empire apparently is like the big event thing that's going on at the
Didn't
moment.
they use the cosmic cube to
Yeah,
rewrite
like
reality?
a sentient piece of the cosmic cube that was posing as a little girl and still is. Yeah, comic books, man. She's rewritten like his memories and his past, so he thinks he's like this big old Hydra agent and stuff. And he's working with the Red Skull, who has Charles Xavier's brain at the moment, or at least he does as far as I'm reading it. I think he might die soon in some other thing. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of things going on. And the problem with comic books at the moment, I guess comic books always, is that I've had to like jump around. Like I was reading this Spider-Man Miles Morales thing, and then the story, half of it was in Spider-Gwen, so I had to read a couple issues of Spider-Gwen, and that was fine. But like, I liked the art style a lot more in the Miles Morales one.
I had that problem in World War Hulk.
Yeah,
because Ghost Rider, he's a cool character.
Yeah,
can't deny that.
Yeah,
never fucking liked the art style.
Yeah, that can.
And to get the full story of the World War Hulk, there was a couple of issues of Ghost Rider I had to read, and just reading like Greg Pak's amazing, beautiful, full of color and depth in the official World War Hulk, then going to it looked 2D. It looked like just a hand drawn sketch.
That can be a little bit of a problem with comic books, especially those big crossover things. Like you can get like. There's like the house style of Marvel things, which have like your Spider-Mans, your Iron Mans, your Captain Americas all kind of look very similar in terms of the art style. But then you have like these other things that are like they're different, and sometimes they're good different. Like the way Miss Marvel, like the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel stuff is drawn, it's different, but I like it. The way that Hawkeye, Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye was a little different. It's got a little bit more of a kind of a crayon-y texture around the edges to it, which a little bit rougher, which I like that. I was trying to think of like what the other one was that was drawn a little bit different. Hellcat is drawn a little bit different. It's a little bit more kid-friendly, that series. It's still kind of set in the Marvel Universe, and there's some like dark consequences and stuff, especially around Civil War, because one of the characters in that, She-Hulk, basically gets put into a coma, and like it starts off with like this fun little kids book really, and then like halfway through she's like, oh, where's my friend, where's Jennifer? Oh, she's in a coma. Oh, what?
Yeah. You know what, it's actually really interesting reading World War Hulk, because it's kind of like the immediate aftermath of Civil War. So you see how the world deals with this next huge threat while still recovering from such a big thing to happen.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting thing. And Iron Man's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the time.
I think Captain America is about to be made the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., where I'm reading up to, because Maria Hill just got kicked out. She's on the outs. She did too many crazy things, and the World Security Council was basically like, no, you're fired. You used the cosmic cube to try and alter reality. Go away.
I feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. just can't keep a director, can they?
It's a tough job. Not many people want to do it. There's a lot of crazy things going on Marvel. This is why, even though I like want to get into DC Rebirth and I've been hearing it's good, there's just so many things going on in Marvel, and I'm too invested in this dumb world at this point to like jump ship. And that's why like I've stopped for a while, because like I can't keep up with all of this. Like it's such a commitment to know what all these things are going on. I'm not even reading everything. Like no one can read everything. No. But like I'm reading like a lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of different issues. So it's hard to keep up with, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I think that's where we should leave it today.
Yeah,
You recommend a few
that's-
comic books. I recommended a video game and quitting your job.
Yeah. Quit your job. I mean, if you don't need the money,
You don't need the money. Yeah.
that's unnecessary stress, man. All right, yeah. Let's wrap it up there. If you want to stay in touch with us, stay in contact with us, we're on Facebook at facebook.com/PCMR podcast. We're also on Twitter at PCMR podcast. We're on Instagram at PCMR podcast. We have an email address, PCMRpodcast@gmail.com. We have personal Twitter accounts. I'm at Aiden's Vlog, AIDANSVLOG.
I am at meman125, spelled just like it sounds.
You can also listen to us on YouTube or on iTunes. Subscribe to both. Give us them ratings on both. Both help us out. We have the website, PCMRpodcast.net.
Everything's there.
Everything's there. Those are all the things. Next week will not be Spider-Man, but the week after will be Spider-Man.
Yeah, we'll probably just do another news week next
Probably
week.
another news week. Maybe something else will come out. We're heading into July, which means we're about to hit, like we had that kind of like preemptive, kind of like, where things are hitting up. We're going to be seeing a movie every other week. Now we might be heading into that.
Yeah, because for like 2 months there, I think March and April, we were just full out movie.
Yeah. And, we could have seen like The Mummy or Transformers, but you know what? We're not getting paid to do this, so no.
We still have another 2 days to use those free tickets of mine.
That's true. But I'm going away for 2 days, unless you want to see something Sunday afternoon.
I could do a Sunday afternoon sesh.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. We'll see something. Maybe Pirates. I don't know. I heard that's okay. And I'm willing to see an okay movie for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we could just see Guardians again. I don't know. Is that out? I don't know. We could see Wonder Woman again.
It is still in the cinemas. And they are on the no free tickets list. Oh, they're off the no free tickets list, I mean.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
That's it. Goodbye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Pals.
Bye.
Oh, I just broke my microphone.